Hi, I'm Dan, and welcome back to the Rock Nerd Radio Show here on YouTube. By Odin's Beard, today we're taking a look at the Marvel Legends Odin figure.
Come geek out with us on the Rock Nerd Radio Show.
So like I said, we are looking at the Marvel Legends Odin figure. This is more of a deluxe-sized kind of figure. When it was originally released, it clocked in at $60. I will warn you, I've had this sitting on my shelf for a while. I just really haven't gotten around to reviewing it. And if my review kind of sways your opinion on this figure, if you weren't buying it, now might be a good time to get it, because I am recording on December 1st of 2024. And right now he is hitting the discounts for Black Friday sales, Cyber Monday sales. So you might be able to get him at a significantly lower rate. This is the best Odin figure there's ever been in Marvel Legends. And technically, we've had some Odin figures. You know, the Marvel Select Destroyer had an Odin head, and there was a Build-A-Figure a number of years ago, towards like the beginning of when Marvel Legends kind of came back. They were back on their upswing. There was a Build-A-Figure in which you could build Odin or future King Thor. It was the All-Father Build-A-Figure wave. And I never loved the Odin in that series. I had two of that Build-A-Figure. I had the future King Thor for a while, which I've since sold off. And I had the Odin, but what I actually did was I customized the Odin. I'm just going to bring him out here so you can see him. I had customized the Odin to make more of like a battle-ready, kind of more of his palette, and as you might see in some comics. So this one is my custom. Now that I have this Odin, I definitely don't need this one anymore, but you can see just how the new one really dwarfs this old Build-A-Figure. He's huge compared to him. He outscales him, he outclasses him in my opinion. Just looks so good. I was very proud of this custom, but now looking at the new one, I don't have use for it. I could probably still reuse parts of this custom for another custom of some kind. That he'll go back in my bin and I'll think about that, but I am going to take him out of here. One thing to point out, both these Odins do have the same spear. This spear actually came with a Namor figure, and I repurposed it for this Odin because I liked the more color variation on it. This is very similar to how the spear looked on the original Odin Build-A-Figure, maybe just a slight different paint job. And the sword that this Odin has is also the same as that Build-A-Figure came with. I believe I had that sword sitting with the Thor figure, but I'm going to take both of his accessories away just for a moment so we can focus on the figure himself. Looking at this figure, bringing him in nice and close, he has a really cool looking head sculpt, and I really love just how big and wavy his beard is. I love the eye patch. I love the angry looking eye. I love this headdress, and the coolest thing, one of the coolest things about this figure is that this whole headpiece can come off, or hairpiece can come off, and you can swap it out for a number of different Odin hair pieces. So this is kind of my go-to, but one of the other options that this Odin has is this helmet, which just kind of has the two horns. And I like how they do this like G.I. Joe Classifieds, where it's just, you know, a whole helmet piece that would just swap in and out. And you just kind of have to press it down till it clicks in place. And then you can have this look for Odin. This looks really cool as well. This almost looks more like a battle-ready one, where I would say this one has like his crown of King of Asgard. But it has, you know, the hair coming off of it. This one doesn't have the hair. It's just, you know, like I said, kind of like a battle helmet. And if neither of these are what you're feeling, you can just swap it out for this hair piece. And it goes on just like this. Now, this piece might be in the way for the hair piece. The nice thing is it comes off. One thing to look out for, this is a cloth cape, and it just kind of sits here. So if you take that brown fur piece off, sometimes the cape will disconnect. But you can fit the hair on, and now maybe you have a more of a casual Odin, if you will. Just, you know, maybe walking around the palace, hanging out, not going in a battle. The hair looks phenomenal, quite honestly. Everything is sculpted very, very well, and it just sits nicely down the figure's back. I am going to go back to the look that I had him in. So I'm going to take the hair off. I'm going to put this fur piece back on. And as you can see, there are two pegs on the fur piece, pegs on the shoulders. So I'll just peg them in 1, 2. Make sure that's on. It's going to help keep that cape in place. There we go. Everything's back in. And I'm going to press this down There we go. So now the crown is on. That's not going anywhere. I really like this crown. It does look fit for a king. We'll take the other hair pieces out of here. There are some other accessories which we will go over as we go, but just moving some more down on the detail. First off, I like how it's not all the same color gold. You know, on the shoulder pads, we have this like very brassy color with the gold swirls. You can see the rivets in the armor. Same on the other side. And then for the chainmail on the chest, it is that brassy color again with this golden piece with the chains going around. The cape is fabric, so it does get out of the way. I think it could be a little bigger. Honestly, looking at him, it's a little tiny, but I still like it. But, you know, you can look ahead to, or look around to his back. You still see that brass color, some nice brown leathers with gold chains coming around. He has cloth, you know, for like a loincloth coming down, and all these metal details, which look phenomenal. Oh, just wonderful details. Like, these armor pieces, they look so good. And then the legs being this blue armor, same with the arms as well. I'm going to actually go back up to the arms, because these arms have the blue armor, but then on his wrist gauntlets, you have these like bone protrusions coming out of the armor, which look really cool coming out of these wrist gauntlets. That is the same on this side as well. And then the armor is like dinged and dented up. Just makes it look like he has definitely seen some battles. Knee pads have the same bone protrusions, as do the boots. Just awesome. Like, one of the best things Marvel Legends has done this year. And then moving on down to the knee again, like first off, we have armor pieces you can see in the knee. It looks like the armor is strapped to his knee. The boots look really cool. Again, battle worn with some scratches and scuffs. And then it looks like chainmail socks, as it were, going down to his shoes. Just, you know, the bottom part of the boots just looks so good. Everything on this figure looks imposing and awesome. I did mention some other accessories. So he does come with his two ravens, as I hit the camera. Sorry about that. So there is the, you know, the two ravens here. You can have them kind of sit on him wherever you want. I don't really display him with the ravens because I haven't found a great perch for them. Like, they'll stand, but the minute he gets like shaken or moved a little bit, the raven's going to fall off. So, you know, I believe these are the reuse of the ravens that came with the, was it Controller Build-A-Figure Wave Galactus, Herald of Galactus Thor. Now, you may have seen these before. Odin also has some other hand choices. He does have an open left hand, so he can grip things, and he has a full-on fist for a right hand. Just like you would expect from Marvel Legends, they pop out. I will say that these hands do rotate left to right. Both of these hands go left to right, where the hands he's sporting now will go up and down. And the reason for that is that these are more of the weapon-holding hands, so he can kind of point and maybe hold that staff and sword a little more dynamically than other figures might be able to. So, moving around to his articulation, the head is on a ball joint. The hair really does kind of impede how well, and the beard, how well this moves, but you can get some left and right. You can get a little bit of up and down, not a whole lot. The head is probably the worst. The head movement is probably the worst thing on this figure. Looking at the arms, we do have nice outward movement. Of course, they are going to rotate all the way around. The armor only moves so far, as you can see. It's going to move forward and back a little bit, but it's not going to move fully around. But his arm does manage to move around that armor. So there is that. We do have bicep swivel. You can see it there. You are going to have to rotate the bottom part of the arm with it, just so you are aware. Single joint at the elbow, but it's because these arms are so damn chunky. But then they can rotate at the elbow as well. So you get nice movement on the hands there. Like I already said, the fist will spin, and these particular hands move up and down. I think you could probably get the wrist gauntlets to move. Mine do seem a little stuck, and I don't want to risk breaking them or breaking some kind of glue seal. So that is really going to be up to you. I wouldn't recommend it if yours seem stuck, because you don't want to break your figure. At the waist, he's got the inverted ball joint, so he can move here. You can see where the break is. You know, he can move around this way, and he can twist, and it almost clicks at the waist, which I think looks really good. And, you know, because of the I don't know what to call it, loincloth piece. It kind of does hide that articulation, so it doesn't look very out of place when you do move him. I think it does help on that inverted ball joint. I think we saw a similar thing with Morg. He had that belt, the part of the HasLab Galactus set, which kind of helped hide some of his articulation. At the legs, we have kick forward, and we do have kick out. The sash is going to kind of get in the way, but you can move it out a little bit. There we go. We have thigh rotation, so they will spin all the way around. We do have double jointed knee, and it is a thick knee joint, but you can see the double jointed knee piece and how well it moves. Oh, there you go. And you might see me exercising some caution moving these joints. I did get my thumb stuck in between the knee pad and the leg when I first got it, and it hurt, man, let me tell you. I'm not getting any boot rotation, no boot cuff rotation, but at the foot we do have pivot, and we do have forward and back. So you can get this Odin to move to however you see fit. Again, he is kind of chunky, so you might not get him into the most dynamic of poses, but you really can get him to move around in some very cool ways. So here's Odin again with his sword and spear, and I would have liked if the spear had a little more paint applications on it, maybe something to kind of give it a pop of color, but with so much going on in this figure, I can understand why maybe they didn't include that much with him, but it still does look really cool. The sword looks nice, and I'm glad this has some paint applications on it. It does, however, kind of look like a toothpick when Odin is holding it because he's just so damn big. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of slide Odin back here a little bit. And I think what I should do is bring in some characters, some Asgardian characters, so you can see some comparisons. Of course, why not bring in his favorite son? Here is Thor. This is the 80th anniversary Thor. And together, I think they look pretty good. Odin is towering over this Thor. It really kind of hits home the whole point of him being, king of the gods. Just looking that much bigger than Thor himself. And if we're going to make it a family reunion, why not bring in Loki as well? Here is Loki. I believe this was the, is it the Fix-It wave Loki? Or maybe this was one of the Infinity War waves. I forget. He's also had a retro card, but I just have this version of him. So here they are all together. As you can see, Odin towering over both of these guys. And here he is next to Beta Ray Bill. And before you can ask, no, this is not an official Beta Ray Bill figure. This is a custom. It is the Beta Ray Bill head from the, was it one of the Infinity War waves? This is his more modern look, or at least the head is from the modern look Beta Ray Bill. But I do have the hammer and the boots from the original Toy Biz Beta Ray Bill. I'm really hoping Hasbro makes an official Beta Ray Bill. This is basically on that Thor body. I just swapped out the arms. The arms were from that Infinity War Endgame. I forget what wave Beta Ray Bill, as is that head. But it was an easy pop and swap, just heated up some things. Would really love to see a new Beta Ray. I think it is well past time. And of course, I'm missing some detail that the actual figure design has. And here he is next to Scourge the Executioner, another custom of mine. This is one of the oldest customs I have on my shelf. The head is a WWE Big Show head. The body was that All-Father Wave Thor body. And, Executioner, I feel, is an Asgardian character we really, really need. I'm surprised we haven't gotten one. With some recent Asgardian characters coming out, it kind of gives me hope that we will get someone like Scourge the Executioner sooner rather than later. I also know my colors are a bit off. I know his armor is more brass than silver, but this is the color palette I went with, and I've always been happy with this custom. So there we go. This is the Marvel Legends Odin. I don't really have much else to say on this figure other than it is awesome. If you want more Asgardian characters on your shelf, he is definitely one you're going to want to grab. Like I said, we are getting close to the holiday season of 2024. I've seen him marked down on websites. I've seen people, different websites offering discounts for this figure. If it is one you were on the fence about, hopefully a discount can make you, make you purchase it, because I think he would be well worth the purchase. Like I said, he is probably easily in my top 10 Marvel Legends of the year, and just something that I am really, really happy we've gotten. Just a nice deluxe, big-sized version of this character. I think he very much deserves it. So let me know in the comments down below what you think of this figure, and I'll see you next time. Hey, thanks for checking out this video. I really appreciate it. If you want to leave a like or a comment, down below underneath this video, it goes a long way to help out the channel. You know what also helps? Subscribing. That goes a long, long way. So I would really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. You can also check out the Rock Nerd Radio Show podcast on your preferred podcast platform. It is a weekly podcast hosted by myself and my good friend Vinny. Together we discuss all different types of pop culture, whether it be comics, music, TV shows, movies, or collectibles. So check that out, once again, wherever you're going to get your podcasts. And you can also follow the Rock Nerd Radio Show on Instagram. That is the best place to interact with me. I would love it if you gave it a follow. So thanks for checking out this video. Until next time, I've been Dan. You've been pretty awesome, and I'll see you around.
Come get